It's Atlanta's #1 hip-hop station, Hot 107.9 and home for the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. Of course, you know it's your folk, Elhae. Radio, shouting, stepping in the building. I got an A-Town playing this thing that sings and raps. That boy, Elhae. What's good with it, homeboy?
What up, boy? How you feeling, man?
I mean, feeling good, feeling great. I mean, let's get straight to it,
How
man.
are you?
The name Elhae.
Yeah.
What does it stand for, and where did you get that from,
Man,
man?
I was in high school, man. I was just in there just writing raps.
Yeah.
Like young kids do at that age, and just wrote the words, every life has an ending down. And I was like, yo, let me take the first letter of each of those words and then kind of push it together and make a whole like name from it. So every life has an ending. And it was just something for me to live by, just kind of being like, yo, live every day like it's your last. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like something just that people can live by, not only just myself, but other people can live by as well. So yeah.
Now this new single with Kelani, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, man.
Doesn't matter, man. Yeah. It's one of those fun joints, man. We just went down. I went over to Elhae and got in the studio with her, and I played a few records for her actually, and we ended up on that one. And yeah, it just kind of worked out. Just one of those fun records that I decided that we wanted to put on the project. So yeah.
I mean, another fun record that I enjoyed was that Lover Brother, man.
Lover Brother.
I mean, tell me about that one. How did that joint come about, man?
Yo, Lover N-word was basically we was in the studio, and it was just one of those ones that just kind of organically happened. I think my boy Chico loaded up the beat, and I just kind of went in there. I didn't have anything written, you know what I mean? We just kind of went in and just pieced it together off the top of the dome or whatever. Yeah. So it was one of those ones that just kind of organically happened, just based off what the beat was giving me. You know what I mean? And I just kind of came up with that. So yeah, and it became one of those. Probably one of the most popular ones from me. If you go check the numbers, Flex Zone. Yeah, but yeah.
Now, when it comes to the creative process, man, I mean, with you singing and rapping at the same time, how do you determine how you feeling that day, or is it based on the track?
It's really that. It's like the feeling. It's basically how I'm feeling at that point in time. It's like, okay, and what the beat is giving me. If the beat ain't really calling for it, because some songs you don't really need it. You know what I'm saying? You don't really need rapping. You don't really need singing. So it's just like whatever it's giving you, I base off of whatever the beat is giving me. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a feeling. Yeah. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Being able to be versatile with that, though, I mean, how has that affected the creative process?
I mean, it's fun. You know what I mean? Because it's like I don't need to reach out to anybody. Yo, can you sing this for me? Or yo, can you do a rap verse on this? Nah, I can do it all myself. You know what I'm saying? It don't really matter to me. Exactly. I can do whatever. So yeah.
Now, which one do you do the most? Are you doing more rapping or singing?
I kind of try to balance it on every project. I try to balance it equally as much as I know I can. Sometimes I may have, like, I did a project called Aura last year. And I think it was like 4 tracks where I was singing and 4 tracks where I was rapping. Yeah. But they all consist of both. But it's just one is more than the other on a few. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's kind of like that. So
now I know you just recently got that deal with Atlantic.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about that, man. And I mean, how were you able to pull that off? Coming in from an R&B side, because I mean, it's kind of hard for R&B singers to get on.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have a really great fan base that really rocks with me heavy. You know what I mean? And I kind of created that from SoundCloud and just kind of like putting these projects out and just putting music out that people can relate to. And like the singing is one thing and the rapping is another thing, but it's like what I'm trying to get across to people is real life. You know what I mean? And what they take away from the music. So if it's touching them in a way where they're connecting with it, then it's they're going to live with it. That's something that's going to create a moment in their life. And I feel like I've done that with all my fans. And they respect it. They love whatever I come out with. So, yeah, it's just the fans. It starts and ends with the fans for me.
Now, I know that you said that you was doing music while you was in school. At what point was it that you started to take it serious and say, you know what, I want this to be my career?
Man, I think I had that idea. I want to say 14, maybe. It was either like 12, 13, or 14, one of those ages. I saw the fronting video from Pharrell. And I was like, yo, this is dope, man. I want to do this. Like, and then like from that point on, I started doing little raps, writing raps in school and stuff. And then, got into like the talent shows, of course, school, and like, being at the church singing with my mom in the choir and stuff like that. And it was just like, yo, I like this feeling. It's a good feeling to be able to, do something that you love to do and people recognize you for it. Yo, you're pretty good at that. Keep going. So yeah.
How was it for you coming up in Atlanta by way of Dakota, man?
I get this question all the time in interviews. I was just born in North Dakota. Like I didn't
Okay,
do any
exactly. 'Cause I was like, was you up there kicking it in Dakota or what?
Not at all, man. Then
Yeah.
it's North Dakota too. It's like we don't even have Rushmore up there. It's just like buffaloes, but like and snow. But yeah, it was just I don't even remember it, to be honest. It was
Okay.
like the first 4 years of my life. And
Okay,
after
well,
that,
being in the A, I mean, what were your influence being right here in the city, though?
man, it's funny. I used to listen to a lot of, Pharrell and Jay-Z and Kanye, and it wasn't until later on where I started getting into the actual culture of what Atlanta has to offer, whereas like the Wakas and the Gucci's and T.I., the Tips, and basically people that was kind of running the city at that time. Ludacris, of course, Jeezy. So I got into that a little bit later, but my influences started very much in a more conscious place. You know what I mean, with the J's and the Talib Kweli's and Mos Defs and stuff like that. So.
Now, I mean, do you find yourself applying a lot of that conscious thought to your music?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think with me, it's kind of like a balance with both. I've kind of been able to kind of give you a sound. You feel like it's from Atlanta, but at the same time, it's more conscious and it's more, stuff that's relatable and things like that. But I can give you both sides as well. You know what I mean? Like it's really whatever I'm feeling at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Vibe talk.
Already.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Now, when you out there performing in L.A.,
Mm-hmm.
what are the songs that get the folks going crazy?
I would say love an N-word.
Uh-huh.
Love a brother. Yeah, it's either that one. I have a song called Situations that does really, really well. Another song called Halfway Love. And Drive Me Crazy is another one. I do Drive Me Crazy, and that does great. But yeah, especially when Love a Brother comes on, that's when, they know the words, they sing it back, and all that type of stuff comes with it. So, yeah.
Now, when you looked up and you got your deal, man, what was that experience like for you when you realized that it had just become real?
I don't think I had that moment until I dropped my project this year. I dropped the project earlier this year called All Have Fallen. It was like a couple months ago. And, like I was in the airport and I called my manager and I was like, yo, like, dang, this happened. Like, that's like crazy. You know what I mean? Because you work so hard, every day of your life pretty much. For me personally, and my own experiences, I worked forever, like years and years and years. And then to look up and say, hey, okay, this is the beginning of something, really special. So, yeah, it was probably when I dropped the project earlier this year, for sure. Yeah.
Now, what has been the reception to All the Fallen?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where it's growing. You know what I mean? It's taking on songs. Some songs are taking on life of their own and kind of going and becoming bigger than the project itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun to watch. You know what I mean? And just get the reception from it's new fans coming in every day. I just, discovered this record. Y'all need to get hip. Y'all sleep. Blah blah blah. You get that all the time. But yeah, it's fun to see it grow. You know what I mean? And that's what all I can really ask for. You know what I mean? Just that.
Now, speaking of growing, I mean, you have been doing numbers already.
Of course.
So, I mean, when you look up and the music is going viral and you seeing the fan base already picking up before you even get the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that like? And then for other folks that are watching this, I mean, how do you go about getting that done?
Man, God. I don't know. It's really serious. It's really funny because I just started putting songs up on SoundCloud, and just to see the reception that I was getting, I was like, okay, so this is working. So I just decided to put more on there, and then put a project together, and then put that out, and then come to today, and you got almost 18 million plays, and you're just looking up like, okay, when did this happen? How did this happen?
Yeah.
You know? It's one of those things where you really don't notice it in the process. You have to kind of step back and say, oh, I did that last year. That's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, it's really everybody. Me and my manager talk about it all the time. Like, everybody's journey is so different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's path is different. So my path might not necessarily be anyone else's, but I decided to just throw songs on SoundCloud and just see the reception it would get. From that point on, just if the fans gravitated to a certain sound, stick to that sound for a while. You know what I mean? And just give them that, develop that fan base, and just kind of taking it one song at a time.
Now, as an artist, though, what is it that you're trying to bring to this game that's different from everybody else?
Man, I think at the end of the day, I have a story to tell, and at the end of the day, I just feel like my story is like is unlike any others. And like everybody, there's barely anything new under the sun,
That's
as a
right.
as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, and for me, I just want to push the boundary on what's musically acceptable and what's musically like creative. Just try to develop different sounds and try to just progress with music. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing next year.
Yeah.
It could be something totally different but I just want to continue to transcend the culture. You know what I mean? Of hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? So, all I could do is just continue to keep trying and just make great music. So that's what I
Now,
want
when
to
it comes to the music, though, and telling your story and being transparent, I
Mhm.
mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, is it a case that you got so many life experiences that it ain't nothing for you to just go ahead and reach in the Memories Museum and get busy? Or
I think honestly, it's one of those situations where I do get uncomfortable writing some stuff, and I know for a fact that if other people that I'm talking about in the songs here, they'll be uncomfortable with it. But it's one of those. It's another thing. It's like, okay, on the flip side of that, I know that this is going to help someone else, or it's going to be relatable to somebody else. So I try to think about that, and just get over the fact of my own feelings, and just understand that people love what I do for the reason why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I feel like my music really relates to people in such a way that it does help. You know what I mean? And I kind of put my own feelings aside when I'm writing music.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, with the music and being transparent and giving it to the fans like that, I mean, what are the fans saying when they see you out there in the streets? Do they feel like they know you too because you're giving it so raw?
What do you mean? Like, as far as like if they see me out or what?
Exactly. I mean, when they see you, is it a case of, hey, man, I'm just trying to get these women to love me?
They just point and like whisper to their friends and stuff. It's
Yeah.
not really one of those things. I do have people that come up and, dap me up. Music is amazing, blah, blah, blah. Can I take a picture real quick? Stuff like that. But it's really weird. I haven't got used to that yet. But
Do you have any artists that you want to work with that you ain't worked with yet?
yeah, of course. There's so many out there. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That you just think that you will mesh with so well. I love Janae Aiko. I think she's dope. I would love to work with a guy named Childish Gambino. He's from Stone Mountain.
That's right.
I really can't think of off top. I could go on and on about like different artists. People would be like, "Who is that?" Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm so weird. Like the type of music I listen to is so weird and off. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just stick to those two for right now.
Now, as far as performances, I mean, what you got coming up next, LA?
Well, we just booked a few shows out in London. It's coming up, and that's one of my biggest markets as well is London. So that's gonna be fun. Then we got some other stuff coming in the works that we're trying to do over there in Europe. Then we got here for like this place called Croatia.
Yeah, I know about Croatia.
Yeah, so like we're just trying to get some stuff in concrete and move forward. But yeah, we definitely just got the London gig booked and ready to go. So we're gonna get that going, and I got some coming in the Bay Area. Shout out to the Warriors. I should have said that because like the Hawks was in the playoff, but whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Being an international player, though, man.
Players.
I mean, London. I mean, everybody don't get a chance to go and perform in London.
Yeah.
And everybody don't get a chance to have London as one of their biggest bases also.
That's true.
So what's that feeling like?
That's amazing, man. It's weird because I don't know. I guess they just get it. They just understand it a little bit differently than Americans do, I guess.
Yeah.
They really love music over there, and they like they've gravitated to the music. I don't know why, but I mean, like the numbers from London to America or like the highest city in America, because I can look statistically on the SoundCloud and like different analytics and stuff like that, and the numbers from London to the second city, which is probably like Elhae, is like far beyond. Like it's killing over there. So like whenever I get a chance to go over there, it's all love. We did a show there last year, sold out.
Okay,
so,
so
yeah.
you got to break that down to me. As a guy that ain't never been to London or nowhere for that matter, how do you feel when you look up and you find yourself in London getting busy, man?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. Last time I didn't even get to enjoy it. I had the flu.
Yeah.
I had the flu, and I didn't get a chance to enjoy it. So hopefully this time coming up, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to sit back and really analyze what's going on. And then, like, the whole Paris thing. Remember that happened? Like, that happened over. Yeah, the bombings. Man, it was a lot going on that time.
Yeah, that was a little
so
scary.
yeah, it was a little scary, but yeah, this time hopefully everything goes smooth.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Yeah,
I can definitely dig it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, also when it comes back to the creative process, man, when you in that booth and you hitting them notes, I mean, what are you doing to get prepared for this stuff? What are you thinking about, and what are you focusing on to make sure that you get that point across?
I'm weird because like when it comes to recording, I know my voice and like how I am in the morning opposed to how my voice is at night. So sometimes
in the morning,
so
the barge at night.
So exactly. So if I need to hit a low note, I'm making sure I go early. You know what I mean? But if I'm going high or something that's the tone a little higher, then you definitely do it at night. So it's one of those situations where you just kind of feel it out. Okay, I know what I need to do. I'm gonna scrap this and do it in the morning. You know, it's just trying to make sure you get the best product for sure.
Now, being in the game though, what are some of the things that you done picked up and learned as far as maneuvering and just getting busy out here?
Just working at your pace, your speed, not trying to rush things. Just keep working. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's really easy to get down on yourself about certain things not panning out the way it's supposed to pan out. But I've learned to just put it to the side and just keep going. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of stuff, even getting to the point where I can get a deal where it was like, man, this is so frustrating. I just want to just say, F it. You know what I mean? But, it's just pushing through it and just continuing to just progress. You know.
But when it comes to pushing through, man, because I mean, a lot of artists, that's where the ball stops, right?
Yeah.
The perseverance part of it.
It is.
You see what I'm saying? You go in that booth, you're like, hey, these songs sounded good. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm getting a pretty good reaction.
Right.
Then the second they get a couple rejections, they say, you know what, this ain't for me.
Yeah, this ain't it.
What was it that made you say, nah, I ain't with it. I got to keep on going till I get it?
Well, luckily, I didn't get that often. I never really got like, yo, this isn't good at all. Like, stop. So I guess the fact that I did get so much like praise and like, hey, this is really good actually. Like, keep going. You know what I mean? I guess that kind of helped me keep going. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it was just one of those things where I knew what I was doing was good. I just needed it to get to the right person. And at the end of the day, I guess that's kind of what happened. It panned out that way. So.
How was it for you when your family saw you getting the deal? They seeing millions of views and listens on this streaming and all this extra stuff. I mean, how did the crowd and the family react to that?
Proud.
Yeah.
Mom's cried. Pop's just kind of like cool about it. It's really good. Happy for you. But it's really fun to say, oh, Mom, I got a chance to. Well, my mom's got a chance to retire, so that was amazing. I got to witness that, and me being one of the prime reasons for that.
Ooh.
So that was really, really exciting and something that I just imagined will happen one day. You know? That's all what anybody wants. You know, you want to get your mom straight.
Exactly.
So being able to do that, and then it's just they've been proud. They've been very proud. So,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, being able to travel across the water, see moms retire, get a record deal. I mean, get to the fans. How are you feeling when you deal with that success? Or have you even soaked all that in?
I was just about to say that. You listing that off just then was like, oh, snap, that's crazy. I kind of have done all of that. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's exciting. But I know for a fact that, me and my team, we got so much more to do and so much more to offer the game. And that's what we plan on doing. We got a lot more coming. So,
okay, bet it up.
Yeah.
How can folks contact you, though, man? And anything else you got to get off your chest?
Y'all finished? Y'all done? Nah, that's it. But yeah, you can check me out, Elhae, Elhae. That's Elhae. That's on Instagram. That's on Twitter. Yeah, just Google that. I just dropped a project called All Have Fallen. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, all of that. So yeah, check that out too.
I can dig it. Elhae.
I do.
Appreciate you coming through this
Thank
thing,
you,
my
man.
dog.
I appreciate it.
The best and
sure.
much success.
Thank you so much.
Be High Radio Shout. It's Hot 107.9, man. Let's go.
Yeah.